I started more about 2 years ago. My son was murdered in 2014 to gun violence. He was shot in front of my home. Just a little background on that. It was like 12 midnight. He was getting his hair braided, and he was a little nervous because my grandmother had just passed, and he was going to be the pallbearer for her funeral. So him and his friends, females that was doing his hair, they had a few drinks outside the back of the house, and he was getting ready to walk her home because it was getting late. We were cooking food for the funeral, and next thing I know, he left out the house at 12:06 midnight, and 12:38 midnight, he was pronounced dead. A female got shot also with him. She was shot in the face. So that was a very depressing time for me. That was my only son, Daryl, 23 years old. And from there, I went into a deep, dark depression. When I came up with more, I felt like I was a mother overlooked. When I finally met with an advocate from the police station, when I went down there wasn't nobody there that came to see me at the house. I had to go down to the courthouse to talk to this advocate and to my detective and those things, and that was difficult as well because I felt like I was the only black person there, sitting there with my advocate and the DA, and my detective sitting on one side of the table while I'm on the other side. I didn't know the questions to ask or, how things were supposed to go with the situation of a homicide, because, like I said, my son was pronounced dead on the scene. Just to let it known how this homicides and missing persons affects you more than just the funeral. It goes on. It's a lifetime situation for these families that they have to deal and cope with on a daily basis. It never stops. And the wondering and not knowing and being concerned, is this guy gonna get me or my grandkid gonna get shot? It is a full-time job. And I should not have to feel like this every day. I should feel safe walking through my neighborhoods or driving through my neighborhoods. I am picturing, I know when the casino was made, they have a bunch of pubs down in the area for the casino. So I was feeling for that in some of these neighborhoods where you can get to when you see stuff on the cameras or the shot spotters let you know with the camera or whatever. You're closer to the neighborhoods and the area already to get there. To maybe you can catch some of the killers as well, because there are a lot of unsolved homicides with a lot of killers still walking the street, and it's scary for the families as well that's trying to fight for justice, because do they want to shut us up? So we want them off the street. We want them gone.
And if they have hubs for the casino,
they should have hubs for us, yeah. And our neighborhoods keep us safe just like you're keeping a casino safe. I feel the police are not getting there fast. The shot spotters aren't helping, and I feel that a lot of the murders that do get solved are solved luckily because somebody had cameras. So I think if we have cameras in the Forest Park neighborhoods where a lot of murders have occurred, and in the high-risk neighborhoods, that would help the police with helping and not having to look at the community for all their answers. Because on the other end, some of the community are, we don't really trust the police, that they have our best interests at heart with so much police brutality that goes on. So it's difficult to have trust in the community, which is understandable. But if you would do these things to show that you really are trying to help the community and stop this violence, then maybe everybody would look at it different. There were 5 deadly shootings, and a few of them I knew, well, 2 of them were dearly close to me. My nephew, Lavarius Jones, and my niece, my sister-in-law's daughter, Tamara Clark. One was shot on Wilbraham Road in Springfield, and that was, Lavarius was shot on Wilbraham Road, and Tamara was shot on Oakland. Mind you, that's the same street that a mother, Carmen Hernandez, her son Jordan, was killed on Oakland Street just maybe a year ago. So we really need some kind of, my son was killed in Forest Park, on Kensington Ave, right around the corner from Oakland. So that should tell you there that that's definitely a spot that innocent people are getting killed. Yeah.
That's your hub spot.
Yeah, that would definitely be a good hub spot. Oh yeah, and the corner is very important, because in my situation and a couple of moms in my organization, they have their son. My son was pronounced dead at 12:38. He didn't get picked up off the street until about 6 in the morning. So I was there with my son outside with the black bag over him, but you can still see his feet hanging out. Or just knowing that's your child laying in the street and you can't touch him. You can't hug him one last time. You just feel hopeless. You feel hopeless, like you failed your child. So that's a double traumatic situation. And then other families are seeing it now and coming before you get to let the other families know what's going on. It's all over because it's been out there so long. He's been on the street so long. So I think if we have our own corner, that'll help a little on the families. It'll be sensitive for them to help them get their loved one off the ground and out the way as soon as possible if they're pronounced dead at that point. I know they have to do when it's a crime scene, I know that, but we were really just literally waiting on a corner. Yes, I would like to have some more services that are inexpensive. There are services, but that are not expensive for families who cannot afford these programs, dance and music arts and different things like that so many kids would love to probably be in, but their families can't afford it. I would like to say to Mayor Sarno, I'm reaching out to you kindly and pleading for your assistance, your help in this high crime rate of gun violence and unsolved homicides and missing persons. I want to work with you. I want to try and do something better. But if you keep hiding from us, it's turning us against to make it feel like you don't have our best interests at heart. And that really offends me. So I'm hoping that Thursday we get to speak and maybe I can see another side of what you're thinking. I'd appreciate that. I just wish everybody would come out and join. Fathers, we need fathers, men, mentors, for everybody to come out and join together in this violence. This gun violence is a public safety issue for our kids, our grandkids, us adults. They're shooting at everybody, and it's not fair. It's not good to live in fear, and that makes your depression and your anxiety sky high. And it starts messing with your mental health issues. So we all got to come together. I'm calling all moms, all dads, all cousins, all uncles to come out and support this march Thursday, the 16th, from 1 to 3.